The USAID Resilient Waters program aimed to build more resilient and water-secure Southern African communities and ecosystems through improving management of transboundary natural resources and increasing access to safe drinking water and sanitation services. The geographic focus was on the Limpopo River Basin, home to 18 million people living in parts of South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. The Okavango River Basin, with its population of 1 million people in Angola, Namibia, and Botswana, and in the Buzi, Pungwe, and Save Tri-Basin, with a population of 5.5 million people across parts of Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Overlaying the Limpopo and Okavango River Basins, the program also worked in the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Conservation Area and the Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area. These videos introduce some of the Resilient Waters grantees and the progress that was made within the 5-year program period from 2018 to 2023.
My name is Gogosara Mota. I work for Socio-Economic Impact Management Advisory, abbreviated as SIMA. We are currently working in Maruleng municipality, which is under the Limpopo Province of South Africa.
And my name is Loretta Mudiselle.
Our project is focusing on water source protection, which is about mapping sources of water in the community and how the human lifestyle is impacting on the water sources. The mapping exercise then tells us what are communities doing that then affects or pollutes water sources or affects the flow of water. And it goes beyond community members to business sectors and commercial farmers. That knowledge then helps us to build tools for empowering communities in the Maruleng municipality on how to deal with waste that pollutes. So it's those tools that helps us with the community to raise that awareness to prevent water source pollution.
It's quite a lot of things that I actually learned or picked up from the entire project. One of which is community involvement, which is something that has been mentioned since the start of the workshop, and even going back to the community, that they need to be involved in order for us to be more knowledgeable about the challenges that they're facing at the ground level, because at the end of the day, they know best what are the challenges, and I would like to believe that they also are aware of the solutions and they can help us come into that part where we implement the solutions that will then be sustainable.
What we further learned was that with the tools that we used on mapping the footprint that is causing the disappearance or affecting negatively the water sources, using the mapping exercise where every participant has to draw the map of the community where they stay, identifying the different institutions from the households to business, schools, grazing land, all the resources or the assets that are there, and where this waste is being dumped. So it became an eye-opener to the participants that actually collectively in the wards where we stay, we are disposing certain types of waste, and mainly disposable nappies, which are sucking up our lakes, our streams, and our wetlands. Then it was an eye-opener, and they could see that collectively, we thought in our wards we have diapers or disposable nappies problems, but actually all the wards, and that's the reason in one of the wards, 4 rivers have dried out. But nobody had that bad-eyed view of what's actually happening with this, pollution using different waste materials, including chemicals, that are, directed to water from the, mines and farmers that are using chemicals in their farming practices. What we're seeing that is becoming different to the community is our approach on not imposing the fact that waste is a problem in that community, but through using this eco-social mapping tool where they actively create those maps of their streets, like you creating or developing your Google map of your area. So that's like, wow, that is different. We have learned in many spaces, but not in this way. So that it becomes a different tool of which they are taking the participants who are what we call community facilitators. They are taking the same tools to introduce to those institutions, be it schools, be it traditional healers or traditional leaders, to the councillors, to the other, municipal officials. This tool is not imposing, not coming with a PowerPoint that's already prepared somewhere, but us mapping where it is this waste, produced, and who is producing the waste at all these institutions, and what type of waste. So these are the leading questions that then becomes, we're learning differently now. We're creating this knowledge ourselves. We're producers of this knowledge, not just consuming what the facilitators or the lead trainer, which is the role I'm playing at SEMA, has just prepared for us and come to present. So that's what's unique about our intervention and how we present the content. Well, the best part was, in the initial consultation, meeting the stakeholders, especially the municipalities, because what worked out was that all the stakeholders we want to work with, the small businesses, the schools, the traditional leaders, the traditional healers, they all have a stakeholder forum that sits at the municipality. So it became an exciting point of entry, which then gave us hope that if with this approach we will get a buy-in from a level which is cascaded, where everybody is in the same room, and then we are easily able to engage with who needs to be part of this project.
As this is my first project, I would say the experience out of it.
So it was about the solutions that came from a desperate situation of diapers or disposable nappies being scattered all over, to then learn to recycle and upcycle and add value to what is considered waste. For example, from the nappies, participants learned that they can create what we call eco bricks that recycle two very what I call bad waste, which is plastic bottles and the nappies. So the solution is to learning to cut them into small pieces and stuff them into those bottles and create what we call eco bricks and make, bricks for buildings that can be used by communities. And then for overgrazing, for example, and the problem of carbon in the atmosphere collectively, because we found that overgrazing is causing a lot of erosion and some of the harsh climatic conditions due to the lack of a carbon absorption in the atmosphere. We introduced a plant called vetiver grass, which is a solution to erosion, soil erosion. It's a type of grass that grows 2 meters tall off roots in 18 months. And it applies sustainable harvesting, which means whenever you use the grass, you cut it, it regenerates again. So the grass can be used for thatching, right? It's a best carbon sequestrator, right? It also can be used for animal feed, but also for fire making. It can make charcoal. It can also make essential oils. It's like a solution type of a grass, but also that grass, when planted on top of what we consider drainage for human waste, it purifies that water up to the drinking point. And then there's now an international network on just promoting vetiver grass as one of the solutions. Of course, plants such as morula, which are in our mapping exercise, were identified as an asset that's already easily available. And if they are propagated, good as animal feed, but also for medicinal, but also for creating social enterprises from all these type of so there was a range of recycling. For example, from marula, there's already drinks that are already being made in the village. Already the knowledge is there, but also extensively the extraction of oils, for essential oils from marula, peanuts, and obviously the covers can be used as charcoal. So the multi-purpose use of just one plant in dealing with the issue of water, because that plant also is climate resilient. So it produces enough fodder or feed for the animals. But if the communities are not aware of these existing resources, it then seen as not useful. So that is one of the best the teachings or learnings that came through this process, the alternatives to this water problem to upcycle. Thanks.